this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps for this practice test that I've made for you. Okay, so you can watch this if you've maybe finished the test and you want to see if you've done it correctly, or maybe you've got some problems with some of the questions and you can't quite remember how to do them. Okay, so, or even if you need a bit of help to do this first practice test. Okay, and you can even do it with me, so you can read the question, attempt it, and then you can play the part of the video where I'm answering this question. It's totally up to you. So with this test, I think I've got 13 questions, okay? The total marks are 63, okay? On the right-hand side, it tells you how many marks each question is being allocated. Most of the time for each question, you will get a question for your correct answer and a mark for your correct working out. Okay, so even if you don't necessarily get the correct answer, you might be able to get a mark if you can demonstrate your thinking, okay? So the first question says, consider the expression 3x plus 5y, take 7, take 2y. How many terms are there in this expression? List them. So remember, terms in an algebraic expression are simply separated by the symbols, which are plus and minus, okay? Although when it's got a minus, we actually take it as a negative. So this is negative 7, this is negative 2y. So how many terms are there? There are 4 terms. And it says list them. Okay, so all you have to do is, they are 3x, 5y, negative 7, and negative 2y. See how I've just separated them with commas, okay? I haven't put the plus symbol in front of my 5y and my 3x, and the reason is we just know that they're positive, okay, because they don't have a negative in front of them. What is the constant term? So remember, the constant term is one without a pronumeral, so a pronumeral is a letter. So have a look at the expression, and you might have identified that negative 7 is the constant term, and it asks you why. So you have to say, because it doesn't have a pronumeral. Okay, now you would get this answer wrong if you just said to me that the constant is 7. It absolutely must be negative 7 because there's a negative in front of it. If the expression was, in fact, let's just say it was 3x plus y plus 7, take 2y, then you would just write 7, okay? But this is not the case. It's negative 7, okay? What is the coefficient of the fourth term? So remember, the coefficient is the number in front of the pronumeral. So let's have a look. This is my first term, second term, third term, fourth term. The fourth term, the coefficient is negative 2y. Sorry, the coefficient is negative 2, okay, of negative 2y. You must include the negative. You can't just say 2, otherwise you would get it wrong. What are the 2 like terms in this expression? So remember, like terms have the same pronumerals, okay, and the same quantities. So you might have noticed that 5y and negative 2y are like terms. So I'm just going to add them here. 5y and, actually I'm not going to say plus, I'm going to say and negative 2y, okay? So if you answered all that correctly, you would have got a total of 4 marks, okay? Question 2. For the following terms, list the coefficient of each of the pronumerals. So remember, the coefficient is the number in front of the pronumeral. So 22x, the coefficient is 22. 10m, the coefficient is 10. Now, when you've just got a by itself with no pronumeral, we actually recognize that there's a little invisible 1 in front, but we never write the 1 in front, okay? So you just need to write 1, okay? Question 3, actually, so if you answered all those correctly, you would have got 3 marks in total. Question 3, write an expression for each of the following without using a multiplication or division sign. So basically in words it has an expression, and you just have to tell me, you have to write an expression without the multiplication or division signs. So 5 more than m, so you can say m plus 5. 6 less than a. Now with this one, you need to say a minus 6 because 6 less than a, okay? It's not the same as saying 6 take a. Okay? The product of b, 4, b and c. So product, when we say product, we're talking about multiplication. We're talking about the answer to a multiplication question. And so that's basically like 4 times b times c. Now remember, you can't use a multiplication sign. So you're going to write it like this, 4bc. When we write an expression like this, we actually just know that there is a little invisible multiplication sign in the middle, okay? So we just know that. Y is halved and 10 is added. So the way you can write this is y divided by 2, because when you're dividing by 2, you're halving it. Then it says, then 10 is added, so just plus 10. So that would be your expression. So if you answered all that correctly, you would have got 4 marks, okay? Question 4. Consider the expression x plus x take 5 plus x. List 2 equivalent expressions for this expression. So when I say equivalent expressions, that means that something is basically the same value, but the order in which it does not matter. For instance, if I said to you 2 times 5 equals 10, but so does 5 times 2. You get the same answer, okay? Or also 5 plus 5 equals 10. Or 2 plus, actually let's go 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Kind of ran out of room, equals 5, okay? So they're all equivalent, okay? So with algebra, we're just using the same thinking, okay? It's not necessarily different. List 2 equivalent expressions. Okay, so I have 3 lots of x. So one way I could write this is 3x. Then I'm just going to write take 5. So that is the same, okay? Another way I could write this is 2x plus x take 5, okay? So these are 2 equivalent expressions because remember, 3x is just x plus x plus x, okay? And you've got 3 x's in your expression, okay? Why are they equivalent? Okay, so you can explain to me in this answer that 3x is the same as x plus x plus x, or 2x is the same as 2x plus 1x. Okay, I'm not going to handwrite that, but if you just said exactly that in this section, then you would have got 4 marks. Okay, the next type of question asks us to evaluate an expression, but we have to do some substitution. So substitution is when we're replacing a pronumeral with a value that we have been given. So for the first question, you've got 2x plus 7. This is your expression, 2x plus 7. And you have to substitute in x as x equals 3 whenever you see x. So this one, it would be, you're going to write out your expression first. 2 times 3 plus 7. So remember, when x is next to the toe, it's actually times. Okay, so when we put the 3 there, that's why I've put a multiplication symbol in there. Now with BODMAS, we must do our multiplication first. So we're going to do this part of the expression first. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 7, that is 13. So that's the answer. Next one, 3y take 1. So y is 4. So whenever we see y, we're going to replace it with 4. So 3 times 4, take 1. Okay, with BODMAS, I need to do multiplication first. 12, take 1. The answer is just 11. Okay, this one I've made a little bit harder. I've used brackets. So with this one, we're going to substitute in, for whenever we see m, we're going to replace it with 5. So 5 plus 1. So we must do our brackets first, because with BODMAS we have to do brackets first. So 3 brackets 5 plus 1, that equals 6. Now we actually are going to multiply these, okay, because when a number is next to brackets, we're going to multiply it. 3 times 6 is 18, and that's your final answer. And if you did all that nice working out and you got those answers, you would have got 6 marks. Okay, the next one is also a substitution question, except this time you've been given 2 pronumerals, okay? So it's a little bit of a longer expression to work out. So if x equals 5 and y equals 4, find the value of. Okay, so x equals 5, so I'm putting in times 5, plus, because there's a plus here, 3 times, what is y? Y is 4. Okay. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 times 4 is 12. You can add them together and you'll get 22, and that's your answer. Okay. Now this one I've got a square in there, so x is 5, so 5 squared, take 5 times 4. So 5 squared is 25, take 20, 25 take 20 is just 5, okay? So that's the working out. And if you got those answers and you showed me some working out, then I would give you 4 marks. Now the next question says, state the like terms in the following expressions. So you only have to state them. You do not have to simplify them. It just says state. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either write them out or you can even just highlight them for me, okay? So in the pink group, I can see that my like terms are 2x and 5x. My other like terms are going to be in the blue group, and these are 3 and 5, okay? Okay, in this expression B, I can see that y going to be like terms, and so is my 5x and x by itself. And the reason that is because this has a little invisible 1 on it, okay? Question C. Now with question C, it might look like there are like terms, but there's actually no like terms, okay? You can't, because like terms must have the exact same pronumerals. There is no other term that has only A. There is no other term that has only B, and there is no other term that has A and B. So you would write here, there are no like terms. Okay. The next one, 3 plus q squared plus 7 plus 4 q squared. Okay. Now my like terms are going to be these 2 here. And the reason is because q squared is just like this, q times q, so 2 lots of q's, okay? 3 and 7 are also like terms. Cool. Then in our last question, a and AB and 3AB can be like terms, but 2 and A need to just be left out, okay? And if you had demonstrated to me that these were the like terms, whether you highlighted them or you listed them in 2 different groups, you would be able to get 5 marks for this question. Okay, the next question says, simplify the following by collecting like terms. So you need to read the expression, and if the terms are like terms, then you can simplify them. So 5p and 3p are like terms, so all you have to do is simplify them. So 5 take away 3 gives you 2. You just write p. Okay. 6 take m. This is the same as 6m take 1m. Why have I got a 6? 1m. That would give you 5m. Okay. 4a take 4a would just be 0. Okay. Now in the next question, in the next lot of this question, the second half, you've got some like terms. The first thing you can do is you can highlight your like terms, and then I'm going to show you how to bring them together. So once you've identified that, you're going to go 6a, then you're going to bring this minus 3a. The reason you're bringing the minus symbol is because you take whatever is in front of the number, okay? Think of it as like all these numbers or terms have values, and you have to take the values in front of them, okay? And then you can just say plus 2. And again, the reason you're bringing the plus over here is because it's in front, okay? Now, 6a take 3a is 3a. And you just add the 2. And you can't add the 2 to the 3a because it's not a like term. Okay. Next question. You're going to identify the like terms, and then you're going to bring them together. So 3p and negative p are like terms, and so are 5 and negative 1. Okay, I'm now going to bring them together. 3p take p, and just remember, this is just the same as 1p. And the reason there's a minus in front is because there's a minus in front of the p. We have to bring whatever is in front of the term, okay? And then plus 5 minus 1. 3p take 1p equals 2p. And then we're going to go plus 5 take 1 is just 4, okay? Hope this is making sense. Now, the last question, all my A's are going to be like terms, and so are all of my B's. Now, just remember that when there's no coefficient and you just have a pronumeral by itself, there's a little invisible 1 in front, just like this. So, this becomes 2A, this becomes 3B, and there you go. Okay, we're nearly there. Question 9. Use the distributive law to answer the following. So, the distributive law goes like this. You have to multiply 3 by whatever is in the brackets. So, got a little, I'm just going to multiplication here. And then we're going to expand it. So 3 times z gives you 3z. 3 times 4 is just 12. And that's all you have to do. Okay? The same thing with this question here. It's really good if you do the arrows first, just so that you know what you're doing. 2 times a gives you 2a. And then 2 times negative 4b gives you negative 8b. Here you go. Question 10. Write the following expressions without multiplication or division signs. Simplify your answer if required. So that means if you can simplify it, but if you can't, you can't. Okay, so when we're multiplying or dividing expressions, we can actually combine terms that are not like. Okay, so this is different to when you're adding and subtracting, and you must remember that because that's where most students make the most mistakes. So 5m, times 2p. You just go 5 times 2 gives you 10. Then you just go mp, okay? The answer is 10mp. With this one, I'm actually going to do an arrow over here. You've got 5x, y, divided by 25x. The first thing you need to do is you need to simplify your numbers. Do 5 and 25 have anything in common? That's what you're first going to ask. Hopefully you said yes, they have 5 in common. So 5 divides into 5 once, so I'm going to replace this with a 1, and it divides into 25 5 times. So now your expression is 1xy over 5x. Now, when you see a pronumeral on the top and on the bottom, one of each, you can cancel them out. So because 1x is on the bottom, 1x is on the top and 1x is on the bottom, you can actually cross them out. And then the expression becomes 1y over 5. And you actually don't need to write that 1. You can just write y over 5, and that's your answer, okay? So y over 5, okay? A times b just becomes ab. Now, 2 times a times a times a times b times b. You write the 2, and there's 1, 2, 3a, so you write a to the power of 3. There's how many b's? There's 2 b's, so you write to the power of 2. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here. Then I'm going to give you a separate video for the extended response questions.